Who joins me now.
Hi, Lorna.
So we're going to start off with the reaction in the French press to events in Tunisia on Wednesday, the assassination of Chokri Belaid.
That's right. It's on the front page of Libération, the left-leaning paper today. It says that in Tunisia, the revolution has been betrayed, and you see a photo of a woman there waving a Tunisian flag. Now, his assassination, according to Libération, has increased the atmosphere of violence that's prevailed since the end of Ben Ali's dictatorship, and you see a photo there of a woman being escorted away from a demonstration by a police officer, and there were very harsh clashes yesterday between demonstrators and police. Now, in their editorial, Libération says this is a political assassination. Though his assassins are unknown for now, Chokri Belaid was a very vocal opponent of Islamist militias. And Libération points out that just like in Egypt, in Tunisia, the revolution is losing itself with these democratically elected Islamist groups that are trying to impose their religious order on their fellow citizens by force, if necessary. So that's not a very democratic thing, according to Libération. But he points out that this may be normal because after years of this dictatorship, Tunisia is just starting to cut its teeth on democracy, and its learning curve may be a very long one. Now, in reaction to the assassination, the Tunisian prime minister announced that he's going to form a non-partisan government of technocrats, and the Huffington Post points out this today. You see a photo of him there, and the Huffington Post wonders, is he trying to put out a fire by forming this group of non-partisan technocrats to run the country? And they wonder, is it too late, too little, too late, according to the Huffington Post?
Okay. Well, meanwhile, back here in Europe, other French papers focusing on that crucial EU budget summit today, two-day summit starting in Brussels.
That's right. Now, according to Le Figaro, this new budget is going to regulate the next 7 years of EU spending. And Le Figaro says that France is increasingly isolated with respect to the London-Berlin axis. The Berlin axis, London-Berlin axis in photo there. Now, it says that Angela Merkel and David Cameron are keen to cut spending, while François Hollande is more into an increase spending kind of approach. Now, Le Figaro says that up until now, Europe has avoided looking at itself in the face and having a real debate about what it is, about a political debate about its future, but now money issues are making it do so. But they're very strikingly different opinions about just what the EU should be. And Libération has an opinion piece by several Euro deputies from the Green Party. So there, for instance, Daniel Cohn-Bendit and José Bové. And they say with this new budget, the European Council is preparing a harsh austerity plan for Europe, a very conservative plan that's completely inappropriate for the current political and economic situation, according to them. They say that on the contrary, the EU should be giving itself means, giving itself the money it needs to get out of the crisis and also to be an effective political institution.
Okay, well, moving on, the UN peace envoy to Syria has given an interview to the Catholic newspaper La Croix.
That's right. Lakhdar Brahimi says that he's not going to give up, even if he does admit that the mediation mission that's been given to him is practically impossible. But he isn't losing hope, and he says that there's several positive signs that things could be moving forward. For instance, the fact that the Syrian opposition leader has said that he was willing to open a dialogue with Bashar al-Assad under certain conditions. He said this was a very wise move. Also, there's the fact that Russian and American diplomats are talking, and it seems like they're willing to push forward some sort of a solution. Now, it might not be a complete revolution, he says, but it'll be some sort of an evolution. And he says that, for instance, there could be some sort of a transition. He talked about the fact that Syria can move from being a presidential country to a country where the parliament is the one that's pulling all the strings.
Okay, well, finally, to end on something completely different, here in France, the rocker Johnny Hallyday has written a book.
That's right. He's written his tell-all book, and you can see it here on the cover of Aujourd'hui en France. J'ai voulu rétablir la vérité. I wanted to set the record straight, the truth straight. Now, who is he, you might ask? He's a very important person here in France. I guess you could call him the French Elvis. He's been around since the 60s. He sold over 100 million albums, been on tour more than 180 times. He's a legend. I mean, he's here on the cover of L'Express as well. Johnny dit tout. He tells some juicy details about the French music industry. For instance, he says that Edith Piaf hit on him at one point. He says that he ran away, so perhaps it's not a kiss and tell, but a don't kiss but tell.
That is excellent. Well, so that new book out by Johnny Hallyday, I'm sure we'll be hearing lots about that. Thank you very much indeed, Florence Williminaud, for that look at today's French papers. Well, still to come here on Live from Paris.